Alright, so I'm starting off my face already moisturized and primed. I'm going to go in with Maybelline's Matte and Poreless, and then I'm going to put that on the back of my hand and then use a flat top foundation brush to apply that to my whole face. For concealer, I'm using Tarte's Shape Tape Concealer in light medium. And then I'm going to put that everywhere I normally put it and then blend it out with a beauty blender. After I'm done blending that out, I'm going to use the banana shade in the Kat Von D contour kit and apply that everywhere I put the concealer. After that, I'm just going to take this big powder brush and just kind of swipe that all over my face. There's no product on it. I just like making sure that my full face is blended. Then for contour, I'm using those two shades and applying that to my cheekbones. And then for bronzer, I'm using Too Faced Dark Chocolate Soleil in Deep Tan. After I'm done bronzing, I'm going to use the NYC Loose Face Powder with a beauty blender to sharpen up my contour line, as well as apply that under my eyes to kind of brighten them even more. I actually made a video comparing this powder to the Laura Mercier powder, so I can link that down below, but as you can see, it's very messy and it kind of gets everywhere. But for today, I decided not to have it bake for too long, so I just used that same powder brush and just wiped it away. For eyebrows, I'm using the Anastasia dipbrow in dark brown with the Anastasia number 14 brush. And then I'm going to set my eyebrows using the Essence Make Me Brow, and I don't know if this has a color, I think, oh, Brownie Brows. And then I'm going to start priming my eyes with MAC's Paint Pot in Laying Low. And then I'm just taking a tan color from the Morphe 350 palette to set that paint pot. And then I'm taking an even darker tan color from that same palette and applying that to my crease. It's not very noticeable, but it's just enough to kind of give that crease a little bit more dimension. Now I'm taking this brick colored shadow from Juvia's Place called Ethiopia, and I'm applying that to the outer corners and the inner corners of my eyes to make a halo effect. I actually decided to leave in a lot of this footage, but just fast forward it just to show you guys how much time I really do put into blending. So it kind of gives you guys a better idea of how to recreate a look. So I really just keep going into that same color, working it in and blending it out in the corners, and then kind of sweeping it over to kind of connect the two sides. And then I'm going to go into Juvia's Place Nubian 2 palette into Kenya and apply it to the outer corners and the inner corners again, just to really deepen it and add more dimension. And then I also keep going in with that same crease brush that I used before to blend them out and make sure that the transition is smooth. So I keep going in with Kenya until the outer and inner corners are dark enough. After applying Kenya, I'm just taking that same crease brush we were using before but with no product and just making sure everything is blended nicely. So at this point, my eyeshadow started getting a little bit high, so I decided to go in with this cream shade from that same Morphe 350 palette and apply that underneath my brow. And now here I'm going into from the Nubian 2 palette and applying that to the middle of my eye. After I'm done applying to the middle of my eyes, I go in again with Ethiopia and really blend everything out. And after blending that out, I kind of lost some of my darkness in the corners, so I go in again with Kenya and make it even darker. So really you just have to play around with this look until you're satisfied with the lightness and the darkness of the makeup. For the highlights in my inner corners and under my brows, I'm using Juvia's Place shadow called Kemet. Now for my lower lash line, I'm using this dark orange color called Morocco and applying that to my entire lower lash. And then going in with Kenya and applying that tighter to the lash line. After applying Kenya to my lash line, I'm going in with Ethiopia again and blending the two together. Then I figured that the eyes were just a little bit too flat, so I decided to go in with Nairobi and apply that just on the very center of the eyes and not blending it too far outwards, just on the center of the eyes, just to give the eyes a little bit more dimension with the darkness in the corners. After that, I popped on a pair of lashes and mascara, and then I'm using the Kat Von D contour kit again and contouring my nose. So here you could really see me just working at the bridge, and then eventually I take the lighter shades of the contour palette and apply that beside the shadow that we just created, so it stops the extension of the shadow to really make our nose look skinnier. For blush, I'm using Milani's blush in Romantic Rose. After I'm done blush, I'm going in with MAC's Global Glow to give a little bit of shimmer. Since this is a fall look, I didn't want it to be too highlighted, more so just a matte look with a little bit of glow. For lips, I'm using ColourPop's liquid lipstick in Avenue. Oh, but first I decided to moisturize my lips since these lipsticks are super drying. I didn't want butthole lips once again. Now that we're all finished, I'm going to use the Wet n Wild Photo Focus setting spray to set my entire face.